Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, here we are. The monthly close. In the next 5 hours, ladies and gentlemen, we will know exactly where we stand with Bitcoin for this month. You can see that Bitcoin today has taken a nice little nosedive to the downside. They are approaching closer and closer towards the recovery of the green vector candles in this zone. From now until new start of the week, we may see some very interesting price action going into the weekend. The whole month has been Bitcoin dropping. NASDAQ dropping, S&P dropping. Everything's been going down across the board. Inflation has been the topic that everyone has been focusing on. Looks like the markets are pricing it very, very well. But do you think Bitcoin is moving down because of what's going on inside of crypto? Do you think there's some majestic power behind the idea of cryptocurrency not allowing it to go up, not allowing Bitcoin to be the greatest thing against inflation? Nah, ladies and gentlemen, all it is just money flow. That's all it is. Bitcoin is a commodity. There is a supply, no different to oil. When the money is moving away from assets and going into safety, naturally we're going to see exotics like Bitcoin dropping down. Bitcoin's a new marketplace, guys. Just because of its precedence of, wow, it used to be less than a cent. Now it's gone all the way up to $67,000 a coin. Like, yeah, great. But ultimately, Bitcoin isn't in that league of assets that they can say, you know what, I'm going to turn to Bitcoin. When I'm talking about not Michael Saylor, I'm talking about heavyweights. I'm talking about institutional traders. Your big banks, when they want to diversify their portfolios, cryptocurrency has yet to be that asset that they can turn to try and diversify. Word across the street says that some institutional fund managers are only committing about 1 to 5% of their portfolios into cryptocurrency. So even though Bitcoin is dropping and people are like, yeah, but the whales have been picking it up, why are they allowing it to drop? No, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about a small loss for these companies. Okay? If you hold 10 Bitcoin and you were holding it and it went all the way up to $67,000 a coin, you're laughing. Now you're holding the same amount of Bitcoin and you're looking at your balance thinking, man, I wish I did something about it. But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. What goes up must come down. What comes down must go up. And that is the fundamental truth of trading. Why? Because until you kill the idea of fear and greed in the marketplace, then the markets will always mimic human behavior. And it's the one thing that will never change. Human behavior. I was once given a chart by a company called Investors Business Daily, which had 100 years of the stock market. I will show you that chart in a picture. I'm just trying to get it all so you guys can see it, but it tells you everything. Now, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, this drop that we've experienced in assets across the board ain't much. Star of the show is inflation. Tell me what's new. Star of the show is recession. Tell me what's new. Star of the show is war. Tell me what's new. The biggest problem that we had back in the day, ladies and gentlemen, was when the S&P corrected over 50%. Okay? And it was the 2007-2008 subprime mortgage crisis. Then it was a problem with capital. The way that the banks were working the mortgages, how they were selling off mortgages from one provider to the next. Okay? You've seen the film Big Short. Sort of mimics exactly what had happened then. But what you've got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, this drop right now in everything across the board is not much. Look, this is a 57% drop. Let's go over to the current price action. Is it much of a drop? Take it, have a look at it, go all the way down. Man, we ain't even 25%. Now they're all going to be talking about it could drop more, it could drop more. Okay, cool. If it drops more, we'll be prepared for it. We'll be looking to diversify our portfolios. Now, I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm speaking common sense. If you are watching this channel, you will understand that we go through many assets. Okay? We understand the nature of each asset. Do your own research. Research investment portfolio. Research what it is to be involved in derivatives. Research and find out what it is that these hedge fund managers actually do with the capital. It's public knowledge. If you're going to go and give your liquidity to a hedge fund, they'll tell you exactly what they're going to do before they even take your liquidity. They're just going to put it in nice words. They're going to say they're going to diversify their exposure. They're going to put it into this sector. They're going to go into that sector. They're going to go into this sector in the stock market. We're going to take advantage of some commodities. We're going to try and look into the idea of cryptocurrency. But don't worry, we won't commit too much liquidity because it is a new market and we're trying to understand exactly what we can get from it. The situation across the board, ladies and gentlemen, is simple. Corrective modes. They're just taking back the money that they've been giving. You can't have an expansion like this, ladies and gentlemen, since 2020 and shift all the way up without a correction. The last time we dropped aggressively, guys, was at this point right here, going into this zone, and we had a 35% drop. But the reason, I don't understand what it is, but this move to the downside, given it's only a 25% drop so far, as it is right now, everyone's losing their minds about it. Okay? Fear is being a bit of a problem. Print, happy days. That's how the Fed sees it. And that's what they've been doing for the past 100 years, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't no surprise. Now cryptocurrency stepped in and is going to put things into perspective. Now we've got an alternative way to transact. Happy days. But the markets will still move the same way. As much as Bitcoin solves a problem, it will still respect and move the same way as every other asset in the game of trading. Now, you as a trader or you as an investor, what is your objective? Just to build a portfolio of assets that are going to completely stand the test of time? No, it's never going to happen. Why? Because are you going to be able to catch every move? No. That's why they say cash is king. That's why they say cash is also a position. That's why they say diversify. That's why they say always speculate and make sure that you understand the risk involved when you are making trades or investing into stocks or whatever it is that you do. What I'm trying to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, is simple. The goal is to make money. There is no glory holding on to a losing asset. Okay? So do your own research. Find out what works for you. Do you like crypto? Cool. Check out crypto. Do you like stocks? Cool. Check out stocks. You want to dabble into the Forex market? Cool. Check it out. You want to get involved in commodities? Cool. Do a bit of homework. Understand what happens during times of recession and inflation. Why do investors or traders run to commodities? Oil is a fine example of that. Let's go back to the 2007 subprime mortgage crisis. What was oil doing at that point in time? Let's have a look. Oil was shooting up. Traders were running to commodities. That's exactly what they do. Why? Because the world still has to move, ladies and gentlemen. People will still have to go to work. They will still have to deliver items. They will still have to carry people from one place to the next. We still need oil. That's why they turn to oil. That's why they go to it as a recession-proof asset. But when it's time to take the money off the table, everything else drops at the same time. You should be in profit at this point. Close it, get out, happy days. You would have, in principle, hedged yourself against the idea of recession and inflation, ladies and gentlemen. Where am I going with all of this? Look, Bitcoin itself right now, going into the close of the monthly candle, we have had a very strong move to the downside on the monthly candle. Recovery of the green vector candle right here. We also have on the weekly chart, Bitcoin working its way towards the previous recovery of the next two vector candles in this zone. As I said to you before, Bitcoin right now is still toying in this zone, which we spoke about last week, talking about the idea that if it stays within this accumulation zone, which was the last point that Bitcoin had moved to the upside from, will the traders step in again? In other words, will the economy and will things start to look a little bit more optimistic towards the markets whilst Bitcoin trades inside this zone? Ask yourself the question, does it look like it? We still have another federal fund rate increase due on the 27th of July on a Wednesday. What will that lead to? We've got non-farm payrolls coming out next week, ladies and gentlemen, on Friday, the first Friday of every new month, non-farm payrolls. Looking at the information today that came out, you can see that we have had a plethora of information. And of course, everything has decided to move down. Okay? You've had yourselves oil move down. There it is. Oil's taken a move down. It's got a bit cheaper. The dollar index itself has taken a battering, but more importantly, it's actually still trading higher. Euro USD has made a move lower, but it's also holding at this point right now. We've got a 4-hour vector candle right here on Euro USD, which is a little bit of a cause for concern. Looks like a shakeout. Take out all the traders who ran for the shorts today, reverse it back up. You've got dollar yen at the same token. Where we at? Dollar yen. Here we go. Dollar yen turning and rolling over. About time dollar yen did this, but it's sitting at that 50 EMA. Don't like it. Recovery of the green vector candle in the zone. It's got a habit of recovering these vector candles and keeping price at the highs. Look at the relationship. For dollar yen to really break down lower, we're looking at a breakdown below this 134 mark. Dollar yen, at some point, should be turning. But you can't trust it because the dollar dominance seems to be playing out pretty well. Now, going into Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen, what is it that we need to be aware of tonight? At the start of a new monthly candle, you can see Bitcoin has been trading down lower, is actually trading lower. It initiated a stop hunt rise. And I want to take you into understanding the move that happened with Bitcoin today, ladies and gentlemen. Shortly after the live, price did what exactly it needed to do. Okay? Now, check this out. If we actually go and bring that video up for you, I want you to focus on something for just a couple of minutes, just to help you understand how to read intention from traders. Check this out. Bitcoin, and we have got this area right here, which is a cause for concern. Why? When I expand the chart out, ladies and gentlemen, you can see we have got a plethora of liquidity down here, and the idea is this. These orders here to the bottom left of the chart had been placed in the order book but had been cancelled. That means that if price is going to come back down towards this point, the idea is that the limit buys would be triggered and then they would activate these guys to step in. But if it doesn't do that, then price will likely continue down lower. Okay, so why is that important? So let's go over to it. You can see down here that the mark on the chart is roughly around the 18,860. Okay, there was 675 Bitcoin orders at 18,880. Okay, and what I was trying to say to you was, when you see orders like this in the order book, there was a lot of liquidity that was placed in the order book, but it got cancelled. So that tells us in the order book that there is interest in this zone. So Mr. Market Maker is going to say, okay, then if I can see that there's commitment in this area, does that mean I can pick up longs at that point? Does it mean I can pick up sells at that point? So what actually happened? Bitcoin came all the way down into that zone, that 18,700, look, that 18,800 right there, little bit lower, came down and took the 18,7560. And what do you think it did from that point? It bounced up. They confirmed. They stepped in, ladies and gentlemen. And this is how you trade off the book map. It's understanding the story behind why the orders are coming in, not just visually looking at the orders and hoping for the best. We had liquidity right here. We had liquidity here. We had liquidity here and here. But this right here was a clue because there was a lot of liquidity right there. And matched to this zone was the commitment of traders at this point right here. We waited for the test of the VWAP itself and it broke down and dictated the narrative of the session. That's exactly what had happened. They had broke down below the VWAP. They came back and retraced because they triggered the interest, recovery of the red vector candle, back up, and now they're working their way back again into what we would understand to be the blue vector candle. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to the channel, you can download these indicators free of charge, okay? They don't cost anything. But if you want to learn more about it, make your way over to the Patreon. It's a tight-knit community in there, and we dive deeper into the hybrid system. Don't join the Patreon now. Wait till the start of a new month, because you'll get charged twice. But even if you just watch the streams as well, listen to what I'm saying. I'm giving you the story of what the market is trying to do, because we will never know exactly what it's going to do, guys. Get that out your minds. Bitcoin up, Bitcoin down. Don't even ask that question. You want movement. That's all you care about. This is something that I struggled with back in the day when I was a trader. Back in the day when I was learning. I just wanted to know, is it going to go up or down? I don't want to worry about indicators and what have you. So I would then start running into forums back in the day. I never used YouTube. I was always going into forums. Forex Factory, that's where it was at. And I would just look for someone who gave the impression that things could go up, things could go down. And I would act on that basis. And then I would come to the chart and I'd be like, boy, well, what's happened here? I'm losing money. What's the story? And that's when I realized I needed to understand more about the market. It wasn't just so simple up or down. There has to be an understanding behind it because, guys, you are dealing with algorithms. You are dealing with people who are programming these algorithms. These people are the smartest people in the world that have resource galore. There is not an answer that the markets will say no to, in the sense of market makers will never say no to these smart whiz kids that program these algorithms to, in essence, have the ability to learn, to machine learn. Remember Alan Motter research? Too simple, the strategies that they employ. Try and find that video in the streams, ladies and gentlemen, because I can't really pull up that document. But they said they got two strategies: simple, mean reversion, and complex, machine learning. What does the machine learning factor in? It factors in human nature. Why does someone go long? Why does someone go short? Where can we grab the most interest of traders? You see these wicks to the upside, guys? These are not rejections. This is theft. This is theft. You got Steve, the average trader. He's like, you know what? I believe Bitcoin's going to go up from this point. So I'm going to place a limit order right here. Happy days. He's been triggered. Now what? Steve is scratching his head thinking, what on earth has he done wrong? Yeah? You got Steve's best friend who was like, yo, Steve, man, I didn't do what you did. I waited a little bit low, man. Let's see if price is going to do it. Yeah, they hit it. They reversed it. Then they went up again and then they reversed it even worse. These wicks right here, ladies and gentlemen, are an example of how the market works. They are stealing liquidity. Grab, grab, grab. Market makers' goal is to make sure that you, as the trader, have the enjoyment of being able to open a trade without any slippage, without any worries of your order being filled or not. There's always liquidity. You pay Binance, you pay Bybit for the limit order or for the market order. And also, not to forget that when your position is in profit, you are effectively paying into a service that provides you the guarantee that when your position is in a profit, you're able to take it and run. But that seems to be a bit of a problem. Price can go up or down, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 50-50, yet 93% of traders, it's actually going down now, but 93% of traders who come into the game of trading lose. That's where the game, or should I say, the meta game of trading comes to play. So, to finalize, ladies and gentlemen, I've kept you here too long because we're coming in towards the close of the final days of trading. We've got Friday, which can also be a move. Could be basing, or they could actually initiate a run for profit. But I'll be doing a video tomorrow once we understand exactly what has happened in Asia tonight. But I want to leave this with you. The monthly candle is coming to a close in the next 4 hours and 53 minutes. Just pay attention to the way it behaves in the last moments, okay? Look at the chart. Ignore this. This was a wick when Bitcoin, it shows like it looks like a wick, but Bitcoin did not go to minus 50,000, okay? Ultimately, guys, we know the zones, okay? We are at capitulation. That ain't a surprise, okay? So just try and keep your head straight. If you're not comfortable, wait until the start of a new monthly candle, even going into the start of next week, ladies and gentlemen. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are the best times for you to trade. Finished. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is where the market makers will really manipulate price. If you're going to trade the weekend, guys, please, any attempt that you get and you do actually get money from the market on a weekend, take it and go take the wife out for a meal. Whatever the profit is. Whether it's enough to go and take her out for a burger or a steak, fundamentally, you've taken money from the market and you're able to enjoy it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure to serve you this week and this month. And guess what? We will bring the fire again to you at the start of the next month, once and for all. Okay? Mad love and respect to every single one. I messed up on that little exit right there. I'm just going to stick to what I know. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Mad love and respect. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll check in with you tomorrow. That works. Peace.